So, welcome everyone. At this time, we are launching the Transformative Technology Community Chapter in Paris. And I think we have a few people on the call that are very familiar with the Transformative Technology Community and how it started and all the conferences and all the main people. But possibly for the others, I would also do an introduction about the Transformative Technology Community, about the activities, and about what chapter means, and explaining that. And then I will also, we will have a few speakers today. So we will have some speakers from France, and also we will have some chapter leaders from other cities to give a little bit of insights of how the chapters are doing in other places on this planet. So that's pretty much the general agenda. And then we will have questions and answers. I don't think it's going to be longer than 7 p.m. here in Europe, but pretty much the 1 hour as planned. So that's to have your time estimation for this event. So let me start with introducing the global community. And for that reason, I will share my screen. So for anyone who wants to learn more about the global community, that's the website. So I just went to, I think you see the website, right? It says TransTech, Transformative Technology Conference. And the domain name is transformativetech.org. That's the gateway to all of this community, and that's public. Everyone can go there. And if you see these banners flashing, it advertises the bigger events that the community is organizing. And then if you stop at one point in time, or you just pay attention, there is the next conference coming up in November this year. And that's usually the habit, this one, Human Possibility, November 13 and 14. I was there last year, giving one of the talks. It's a 2-day event. It's a large crowd. So over the last years, it has been growing. So if the event year and a half ago attracted 700 participants, and it's a mix of practitioners, developers, technology designers, academics, scientists, and also investors. So it's pretty much leverages all the components that are necessary for improving our lives through technology. So technology is the essence, and then all of the necessary neighboring areas that are complementary. Last year, last November, there were more than 1,000 people coming to the event. And there were these exhibitions all across the facilities. And I didn't have time to actually test all of it. So it was too much. So I was more speaking with other people. Therefore, the main idea of the event is to bring together people to achieve, let me see, I need to mute one person. Okay. The main idea of the conference and the main idea of the community is to improve well-being for everyone. And to be precise, there is a mission to get to the state of well-being 1 billion people by 2030. And I've heard recently there is the next goal to bring to the well-being or the state of the good living, good quality of living, 2 billion people by 2050. That's the aim. And therefore, we can bring together people that design technologies to achieve that goal. So if you pay attention to the website, you see there are these other tabs under this flashing banners. You can see five tabs: TransTech Conference, TransTech Lab, TransTech 200, Transformative Technology Academy, and Transformative Technology Community. So these are the main activities. So TransTech 200 is the 200 top companies that are developing these tech products. Transformative Technology Academy is the academy that is inviting people for free to learn from experts. And I participated last year. It's very nice. People are speaking about their experience, how to build a company, how to get the investment, how to do with design, how to deal with the ethics of transformative technology, and so forth. So it's a very engaging, I think it was 7 to 8 weeks, and there were, or maybe 4 weeks, and there were speakers almost every day. And it was very interesting. So the conference as well, the community, and the lab. The lab comes out of Silicon Valley, not surprising. And that's where it's located. And that's also where the conference is usually held in Palo Alto. So that's the introduction about transformative technology community and all the spectrum covering it. The next thing is chapters. So why? Because Silicon Valley is not the whole planet. So we, as a community and as the organizers, they thought, oh, there are other people across the globe doing transformative technology. And the best way to engage them is to have chapters, because the local chapters will get this network more connected in these local places. So that's why there was an earlier initiative to opening chapters 2 years ago. And now there was another wave and there are more chapters. And I think it's something up to 40 or 50 chapters right now. And one of them is now opening in Paris. And I believe, and I know that there are companies and people who are really working in this area, also here in Paris and also in France. And also, I know that, for example, Station F, the Station F is one of the world's, and actually it's the world's biggest startup campus. And that also has a great potential to be leveraged here in Paris. Well, and that was decided earlier this year. And I was chosen to, I proposed that I can do it. And they say, oh yes, all right, let's do it. And now we are launching this, and we have some people representing companies that have been developing transformative technologies over many years, and they have experiences with the context of transformative technologies. And those are the people who will be speaking very soon. And maybe to finish up this introduction, I would just show that there is this page which says and speaks about the chapters. So in this case, you can even find it on the web for everyone who wants to join the community. When you come to this page, and you can then go request to join for those people who are willing to join the whole community, the global community, and the TransTech Paris chapter. Here is the option to request to join. And that means you are subscribing to all of the news and you can get those. So that's one thing for those who are willing to join it. And then we also have a platform, which you see right now. That's a TransTech internal, like an intranet, where people, after signing up, have access to different events and announcements and groups. So let me just give you an example. So this is the main page for the community. And then if you, for example, go to the groups, and by scrolling a little bit, you can see TransTech Paris. And this is the group that those who are really here and doing this work can join and then exchange the information between us. So that's another platform that community is actively using to promote what's new, to promote events. And of course, nowadays it's more about virtual events and also then the real ones. So that's the kind of active community engagement platform that everyone is welcome to join. And there is a free version to access, and then there are memberships. And there, if the people sign up for the memberships, that then they get some extra value out of the platform. I think if I come back, yeah, now on this page, you can see there is advanced membership and there is full membership. So those are the two options that include more benefits for those who are willing to enjoy them. For example, one of the benefits is pods. They're called transformative technology pods. I'm going to run one of those. My first pod will be on the May 12th, but I know there will be more. I think 7 or 8 more pods to be launched soon, which is very specifically designed for these memberships and for these members. So now maybe the last thing from me, I didn't say who I am, except that I'm the TransTech Paris lead. So this is what I do. So that's the gateway to transformation, the gateway to the work that I do. And you can see, and also I welcome everyone who wants to help the science. There is this banner saying fighting COVID-19 with true science. That's an online survey with 10 minutes. But then also there are other description about the work and TEDx talks and applied transformation, these cases from companies and organizations and cities, how the transformation can help and changing people's behaviors and attitudes at scale. So I'm going to stop here, and I think it's time for our local companies and local experts to give, let's say, 5 minutes description of their experience, their transformative technologies that they developed or the experience they developed, and pretty much show that TransTech Paris in France has something to offer to each other and also to the people that are visiting our call today. And then later, I would be really willing to give also a few minutes for our chapters in other cities. So I already know that we have Boulder and we have now Milan to give their perspective of how their chapters are taking off and what is happening there. So now I will go back to our event page. It's over here. And
yeah,
here
Agnis,
we have, yes.
Yes, I get some text message from somebody who tried to enter the conference. So I think there are somebody in the waiting rooms.
Thank you. I need to be managing everything. And here I have them. Yes, 3 people. Now we have more. Okay, thank you for that. And thank you. And I think you will be the first to kick off the session with the local companies to give an introduction about what has been achieved and what's on the plate, and maybe what is the future direction, and maybe one of the practical things as you would describe your work, you would also say what would be possibly your expectations from this transformative technology conference and the network here in Paris in France. So, and I just pulled out this speakers list and I just introduced myself, and I think let's go the same sequence as it's there. So Olivier, why don't you just take the 5 minutes and say something good for everyone?
Yes, thank you, Agnis. Hello, everyone. First of all, we make this meeting in English because now it's like a part of the community way of discussing. Even if it's a chapter in Paris, we do it in English. So thank you for that, for everybody to speak in English. So I'm Olivier, the founder and the CEO and founder of Neotrop in France. And at Neotrop, we digitize emotions. We have been working in the affective computing field since 2008. And at this time, it was very, the early 2000s, it was quite unknown in the technology area, and that's part of what I found in the transformative technology community in Palo Alto last year, is this sensation of of finding other people around the world that are interested and involved into such projects that aim to deliver well-being to humanity and through technologies. So in my company, our mission is basically to help businesses and consumers in improving their emotional intelligence in their day-to-day life or operations. The reason why we do that, first of all, is because we all know that stress and anxiety is part of the issues we all live in our everyday life, especially in these times, much more than yesterday's. The anxiety is everywhere, and we all feel that, or would like that technology could help our everyday life and how to relieve from stress, how to be coached, how to be empowered in our emotional intelligence and in the way we are self-aware of our own emotions. So that's part of the why of our mission here in my company. But also we help industrialists, we help academics, we help researchers, user experience researchers to better understand the emotional experience they deliver to their consumers. And we do that because we believe that the emotional connection between businesses and consumers, between industrialists and end users, could benefit to the whole society, because the industrial production in the future could be better reasonable if it fits to the emotional needs of people. That's what we believe in. How do we do that? If I just can share my screen. Yes, I can.
I think you should be able to do that. If
Yeah.
not, tell me.
Yeah, it's okay for me. Yeah, at NeoTrap, we spent 5 years in research and development. What is special in our company is that we are both a lab, a cognitive science engineering lab, and a product development company. So we spent more than 5 years in research and development to develop algorithms that through smartwatches that calculates emotional and cognitive indicators in real time that are scientifically validated. So we calculate these from heart rate signals, from GSR, microsedation signals from movements, and we have a lot of perspective with this technology currently, and our perspective are in terms of research and developments. We are working on emotional AI for dedicated purposes, for reactive digital environments that can fit to our emotional needs or to our emotional states and cognitive states. And in terms of products too, I just want to give you a short focus on on the product we launched last year, which is AffectTag RX. It's our own product dedicated to research at large, from industries to academics to market research. And it's a product coming with a wristband, sensing all of these physiologics within a mobile app to monitor these physiologics on the field, and to get the contextual information, where I am, what I am doing. And at the end of the value channel, there is this, we have the web application with the results of the emotional analytics. And just to say how the perspective for us is, I am currently measuring myself during this lockdown period, and so every day I'm measuring my through our wristbands. I'm getting all of this physiological data, and here is our web application. And just to give you a focus on some of my results, I just have to put that out. Here we are. Okay. So during the day, I'm measuring, I'm recording my physiological data, and at the end of the day, and also tracking what I'm doing. So from writing to kids' schoolworks to call family and friends to reading some news to reading some other things, playing with kids, family eating, working, mindfulness, video game, cooking, and playing music. And we have 3 different indicators on that table. The emotional power, so it's how do I have emotions and how intense they are. And what we see here, what I learned from it during this was the first week of a lockdown. My highest emotions were when I was playing music, working, and reading. But my most durable emotions were when I was playing a video game or reading some news. But my highest well-being states were when I was doing the kids' schoolworks with my kids. And that's definitely something new to me, to spend 3 hours a day working with my kids on their not only schoolworks, but also try to teach them some stuff, some knowledge, and that's definitely new to me, and I like it so much. It's something very interesting to me. And also my highest well-being was here reading some news. It was on Thursday 26, probably a good news, I hope so. And while working or playing with my kids. And the last indicators is how the cognitive load, so how much engaged I am during my activities during the day. So all of this is calculated through our algorithm processing physiological data. So I am very engaged in my kids' schoolwork. So while playing with my kids too, and while working. So it was just to give you an overview of of the results of what we did. We learned a lot from the research and scientific perspective, and we learned a lot, and we are still learning on how it can be useful on an end user perspective. How can it be useful to me if I'm measuring myself on my everyday life? If I get these emotional levels depending of my activities. So what I learned here is that I definitely feel good and feel better or feel well when I'm doing schoolworks with my kids. So it could help me to recentrate the priority in my everyday life. So that's part of what the small brick of technology we did could help me or anybody else. So finally, to answer to the question of what are my expectations on transformative technology chapter in Paris. First of all, I attended the Transformative Technology Academy last year. It was in September, as you mentioned, Agnis. It was a great moment. It was 8 weeks of webinars, of video conference, of other people all around the planet sharing the same interest. And it was a good, I think, a good feeling of being part of a community from Africa to Australia, to North America, to Europe. And while in France, there are some people here who are involved in this transformative technology initiative or entrepreneurship, but there are not so much, or it's not so, it's under the radar, or it was under the radar. And being part of this community in France, I think the chapter in Paris could help this entrepreneurship or this entrepreneurial initiative to emerge from and to be part of this worldwide community and doing more businesses or having more opportunities or being or finding investors all around the world. and deploy their ideas and their products and for the well-being of the community or people around the world. So
Excellent.
that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivier. That was, first of all, thank you. I think this was the first time I saw actually the output of your work and how that it's like a instant mirroring of what's happening, and that tells you how you can align your activities with your being and figuring out what's happening. So thank you for sharing that. And certainly that's the aim of the community, to share, to connect. And as the Nicole Bradford says always, it's the community to finding feedback, funding, and friends. So that's the inner values. And I think now we will transition. So thank you, Olivier. We will transition to the next speaker, the local speaker, Mélanie. The floor is yours.
Hello, everybody.
Audio? Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Olivier. It was very interesting to have some news of NeoTrap. So my name is Mélanie. I'm the founder and CEO of L'Effet Papillon, the butterfly effect in English. After a personal experience as a chronic pain patient and difficult caregiver experience for my companion for leukemia, I decided to create my company in 2011 to provide well-being for patients. And we provide non-drug supportive care like art therapy, music therapy, relaxation, a lot of stuff which are validated by the scientific community to bring a greater welfare for patients. And among all the solutions we provided the L'Effet Papillon, I created Bliss, a medical device with 10 years of research and development. And we use virtual reality, so tech, and sounds and music to provide to reduce the anxiety and pain of patients. So our device is used in the hospitals, in also the, I don't know what's the term in English, EPAD. It's not retirement house because it's medical retired home, maybe, I don't know, for elderly people. We also work with people with disabilities. And maybe the most insightful thing would be to share you a video. It will be in French, but just see the images with the patients who have it's bone marrow puncture. It's bone marrow puncture, and it's quite painful. Patients with leukemia have a lot of this medical procedures. So do you see my screen?
Let's see.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. There is a lot of things, but so can you see a video?
Slowly coming.
Maybe I will shut down the sound. You see the video?
No.
No? Okay.
I just see the selection of things.
Okay.
And
okay.
and you selected the video of Bliss,
Yes.
but then that's it. It doesn't play.
Okay.
I think you should share through a Zoom. You should share the video player application, not the Explorer.
Oh,
itself.
okay. I never tried to share with Zoom.
Yeah, you can stop sharing and then sharing the video window.
Okay. So it's my first time. So you have to share the screen?
No, you can select the windows. So if you select share screen, yes, you play, and then you see the open windows, and one of the windows should be particularly the video player.
Yeah.
And you select that one.
It's not okay. I select
this one. So this one, what we see is the file selection window, or the maps and like file manager.
Maybe with YouTube will be better.
The other, yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. So for example, when I open up this share screen, I see desktop.
It's more meaningful. It's more
I
meaningful.
see Google, Chrome, I see WhatsApp, I see calendar, I see mail, and you should see one of those being video player.
Okay.
There are also two buttons that when you share screen in Zoom, you usually have to click to optimize the view and to share the sound from the computer as well. On the bottom left.
Thank you.
And here, you see it?
YouTube? Now we see YouTube. Yes, we do see YouTube.
So I think I can also. Oh, sorry.
To the far right.
Okay. Subtitles. It's an ancient video, but the same process.
So that's the device, the virtual.
It's the ancient.
Mm-hmm.
We use the Oculus now.
Okay. Positive response from patient. And what do they see? What do they look at?
You will see images.
Oh, okay. Sorry for being impatient.
Yeah, because Mélanie, we do not have the sound, so you can comment.
I don't have the sound.
Yeah, we don't. We don't.
You see the subtitles?
Yes, I read subtitles.
No, you don't see the subtitles of YouTube?
I do see it, and I can read English subtitles, but the sound is not coming through.
Okay.
That's why I was saying to select those two buttons on the bottom left, because when you share the screen, because otherwise we won't have sound.
I'm so sorry, but I don't understand how to button partager. Sorry. You want me to go?
On va vous laisser vous allonger, du coup. C'est avec le gaz et bon, avec le gaz, on sent bien la douleur quand même, hein. Tandis que là, impeccable.
Vous êtes bien? Ouais. Bon, génial.
J'ai rien senti. Juste un petit picotement quand elle a retiré la moelle. C'est tout. Là, bon, je me sens bien, je suis détendue, je suis bien. Plus que quand je suis arrivée.
Jacqueline est ainsi la première patiente à avoir expérimenté une cyberthérapie d'immersion et de relaxation dans un programme de réalité virtuelle pendant la réalisation de son myélogramme.
L'objectif en fait du développement de la réalité virtuelle à la clinique Victor Hugo, c'était déjà partir d'un constat. On fait, nous, à 2 médecins, 300 gestes par an, à savoir 1000 grammes biopsie ostéomédulaire, ponction lombaire. Et on s'est aperçu effectivement sur une petite étude qu'on a fait cet été que 40% des patients avaient une douleur qu'ils chiffraient à plus de 5 sur l'échelle numérique.
Bien qu'utilisant systématiquement un accompagnement des gestes par gaz mais au pas, l'équipe de la clinique du Mans s'est intéressée à la réalité virtuelle comme technique permettant de réduire l'impact douloureux de ces gestes.
On sait depuis de nombreuses années, en tout cas au moins depuis 10 ans, que la réalité virtuelle peut permettre de contrôler certaines douleurs réfractaires à tout traitement, comme les douleurs chroniques, les migraines, les douleurs de dents, les douleurs liées à des ponctions veineuses. Il y a beaucoup de publications qui ont été réalisées dans ces indications, notamment chez les enfants.
Le programme expérimenté par Jacqueline a été développé par l'Effet Papillon, une entreprise sociale qui propose des accompagnements non médicamenteux aux patients fragiles et qui, avec une équipe d'ingénieurs, a développé le programme de réalité virtuelle Bliss.
Bliss, qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est une application 3D temps réel qu'on a imaginée pour le proposer à visée thérapeutique, donc pour gérer les moments d'angoisse, de stress ou les gestes invasifs que peuvent recevoir les patients. Alors on va l'immerger dans un monde très fantaisiste, très doux, qui ressemble pas vraiment à la réalité, donc avec des couleurs assez jolies, toutes douces. On a utilisé aussi du son binaural, donc ça veut dire c'est du son en 3D. Donc on est immergé par le son, par l'environnement.
Je m'attendais pas à que ce soit aussi enfantin, mais en fin de compte, on rentre dans le film. C'était super, c'est féerique, c'est beau, c'est mignon, et j'ai rien senti.
Au-delà de la première expérimentation à laquelle Jacqueline a accepté de participer, cette technique d'immersion et de relaxation va être évaluée dans une étude pilote qui va inclure 30 patients dans 5 centres en comparant à un groupe contrôle ayant un accompagnement systématique par gaz Méopa.
On a comme objectif de diminuer de 25%, donc ce chiffre qui est supérieur à 5 sur l'échelle numérique. L'objectif, c'est d'augmenter le panel finalement des soins de relaxation et de peut-être de se sevrer de certains médicaments comme le gaz.
C'est une aventure qui est née par moi en tant que proche de patient, qui a été pensée pour et avec les patients et avec les médecins maintenant. Et j'espère que Bliss pourra être une solution qui pourra aider et les patients et les médecins, parce que si on réduit l'anxiété du patient, on réduit aussi l'anxiété du médecin. Et si ça permet d'amener un outil qui peut aider, nous c'est notre souhait.
So it was 4 years ago. So now we use this headset, you know, with the Oculus. Oh, sorry. YouTube is a.
Yes. So maybe just if you could say what would be your expectation from this community, and then we could move on to the next speaker. That would be great.
Yeah, I would be happy to share my experience and expertise with others who are interested with the management of pain and anxiety, because it's a huge problem worldwide, and VR could be VR and all medical device could be very useful, because we don't have any language, so all the people of the planet can go on Bliss, even the people who don't speak, even the people with disabilities, even the people with psychiatric problem. So I would be happy to share with others, because I know there is a lot of things everywhere, but we don't know each other. So share and friends. And
yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So we had the wearables, now we have the virtual reality, and I think now we will transition to the third speaker. So thank you, Mélanie. And now we will transition to the third local speaker, and then we will still have, sorry, we will have 2 international chapters to give a very quick reflection of their experience with the community and with the chapters. So Aurélie, are you ready?
Hello, everybody. I will connect everything. Hello.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, everybody.
Good seeing you.
I mean, you imagine the environment where I am. Lego environment. Thank you, everybody, to invite me to join this community today. For me, it's a pleasure because I can exchange with you. Transformative innovation is one of my ambition today too. Then I will share with you my presentation that I prepared. Just a minute, please. This one.
Yes, we see it.
It's okay? Perfect.
Good.
Then for me,
even better.
Yeah. Then regarding my profile, I worked in innovation for 8 years now in an insurance company. I was lawyer before,
Then an atypical professional journey, I can say that. Health was always my my focus, because I started with business law specialized in health. After that, I discovered innovation regarding IT risk management and risk management, and I finished with innovation, strategic innovation, and specialization in IoT, AI, and now biotech. Then to discover who I am, this is my why and my ikigai. I don't know if you are open about that model, but for me it's really important, because when I found innovation, I said I found my ikigai, because I'm fully aligned with my ethic, my personal goals, my professional goals, and the vocation that I would like to have in a professional life. Then regarding my patience and mindset, then I always in my project push human added value regarding the role of robots and so on. I love all the innovative projects, a little bit disruptive, which have advanced, and but I had some troubles with the time to market. Regarding innovation and tech, then I'm really connected with that. My main focus on are AI, IoT, and blockchain. I'm a hacker maker. That means that during the period where I was in insurance, I always dare to hack the different existing process. I was a corporate hacker there. I had the liberty, the freedom to do what I want regarding the CEO of my group. And it was really interesting experience for me to show that it was not only entrepreneurial experience. My wish was really to develop a project as an entrepreneur. And I'm fully supportive with collective intelligence. I will show you after an example. Regarding my mission and vocation, then I can define me as a world citizen. I have no boundary, and I really love the diversity of cultures within projects. I love to transform change into opportunities, and I always innovate with the frugal culture. And my ambition is to impact positively humanity with health. I will explain you how. Then it's a focus regarding Steve Jobs, because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Then here we go. To be an innovator, I think it's really important. As Gandhi said, if you want to change the world, you need to see, you need to, if you want to be the change you want to see in the world, then what you have to do is act. Act not only with action, but act with hacking. And the important thing is to dare. Dare is dare, and we have no limit with that. It's important to dare to dream, because creativity with people in companies is really difficult to underline this possibility, because they have BAU and so on. And if you have the capacity to find oxygen and try to keep distance with your nowadays, I think it's really important to dare. It's exactly an experience that I practiced 2 months ago regarding COVID. I integrate an adventure with the grantees of France, a collective of people. Now we are 100 people in Alsace, working in 3D to optimize shields and adaptators for the snorkeling mask to help health practitioners. And after that, now we are going to help other people, older people at home. It's really important too. And I can now realize the power of collective intelligence, because during this period of crisis with human survival instinct, I discovered that group intelligence and people engagement is really, really huge when it makes sense for people to innovate for charity. The project that I push and I'm working on now is a biotech project. It's called Live Healthily. The vision of that project comes through a personal experience. I had in my family people who were attempted by Alzheimer, and for me it was just not unhuman and not, there is no dignity with a certain pathology. That's why I decided to work on and see if my vision of life, my experiences, if I cross all these experiences, could help me to try to find a solution. Then my vision is to innovate, to create positive impact in health for humanity thanks to AI and psychoneuroimmunology. Then for people in health, doctors and so on, who I discuss with, it's a little bit difficult to understand because there are a lot of specialties. And my vision is to have a transversal vision of different specialties and cross everything to find a solution. Then my ambition is to create the first biotech with a predictive medicine and frugal innovation approach to prevent certain diseases, such as mental health disease, such as Alzheimer and cancer. If you see the functionment of AI, at the origin, it was to duplicate the functionment of the brain with machine learning, deep learning, and so on. Then for me, it's what I'm calling rational intelligence. When you go through the change for brain and cross that with neuroscience, you see that our brain love daily routine, don't want things, new things, prefer to keep energy to do what they want. It's in the companies, all the people saying we have ever do that, why we have to change it. And you understand why your brain has difficulties to integrate change and transform then the world at the end. It's because you need to mix emotional, creative, and cognitive functionalities, which needs a lot of energy for our brain. That's why he preferred to stay with the nowadays habits and prefer not to change the habits. And it's something which is really interesting at the moment, because I think that if you understand neuroscience and understand the functionment of our brain, we will be able to innovate better. And if I continue my demonstration, then AI is more orientated on the functionment and the understanding of brain functionment. My objective is to mix rational intelligence with the intuitive intelligence from heart and with emotional intelligence from intestine. And that's why I could mix psycho, neuro, and immunology at the same time to create a new way to imagine AI.
Wonderful.
For the project, then I would like to inspire the new way that we will consume food by nature, and with different mechanism and innovation that I found really wonderful in the nature is the biomimetism, the new way that we could imagine innovation. And I think that this crisis that we're living at the moment is the right way to innovate in the future. Try to find solution in the nature. Everything is in it. We just need to investigate, study animals, their functionment, and so on, to try to find solution regarding disease. Then the positive impact of my project, I think, is to support a sustainable agriculture, because my objective is with the different benefits that I could operate in that project to sustain a better agriculture and to help to develop more short food circuits in order to allow a slow food consumption for people, and then at the end for better sustainable business. my wish is to consolidate then, perhaps with these community members, my project with a scientific consortium around biotech and future healthy food, and coordinate experts around AI in health. For my opinion, I think that we need to follow the intuitive intelligence of heart in order to transform our world into human-driven. Because for the two years ago, we in different companies, we thought that it was really interesting to be data-driven. After that, we saw that there was a change to consumer-driven, client-driven. And now I think that we need to be more human-driven. Thank you very much, and take care, everybody.
All right, this was great. I mean, we need more of this. And it's great that you spoke this out. And I really believe that people who will later be able to watch the video, they will be certainly getting the idea. And one thing I would say immediately, so all of the three great experts and with passion to help the people and the societies is just a starting point here in this our community here. And what I wanted to say before I get to the world chapters, the Boulder and Milan, is because we are more, we just need to give the opportunity for others to learn about the community and then join. And I showed in the beginning different ways. And if anybody is interested to join the Paris chapter, especially from Paris and from France, yes, I can do that. And I can always navigate people to the way how to do it. So, and I think we come to the point when we would like to hear something from other places. And we have two. We have Boulder in Colorado, the United States, and we have Milan. And I don't know who's gonna start.
Okay, I'll get started. Before, you know, I had this setting of Italian gigolo with this light amazing coming in. No, but really seriously. Thank you for putting together such a very interesting event. It's just amazing to see so many brilliant brains in such a little screen. We started in Milan with a great event, a webinar with attendance from 6 continents, really. We were super amazed by the beauty of this remotization we've been faced with. And we began talking about genetics because the question was, is the answer to the way we respond to crises of the likes of COVID-19 perhaps written in our genes? And we had a very interesting conversation, enticing, went on for 1.5 hours with Dr. Janin from My Happy Genes, a very interesting startup based out of America. And well, we're preparing interesting things and working with the local ecosystem and the global ecosystem for the time being. And we'll put together interesting events we'll be communicating to all of you, hoping you will all attend. And thank you again, Agnis, for putting together such a wonderful event tonight.
Thank you. Great to hear that we are everywhere.
We're everywhere. We are unstoppable.
And by the way, I see Daria, and I think, Daria, are you a chapter leader as well?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I just recently joined the group, but I am a leader in the industry.
Okay, so maybe we will now transition to Dawn to present the United States, and it's huge, but then Colorado and then Boulder. And Boulder, I was there in March. Yes. I was there, almost got stuck because I flew back on Friday, and on Thursday, the president said no more flights. Yeah. But I'm back and everything is fine. So Dawn, what's happening in Boulder?
Yeah, you cut it close, but congratulations on the launch of the Paris chapter. It's great to see. So Boulder, Colorado, which is really all of Colorado, is the chapter, and a lot going on with transformative human potential movement kinds of activity, and bringing in technology is what TransTech has added to that scene. So we did our first meeting in 2 weeks ago on a webinar, and had, I think, 25 people, which is a great mix of local national TransTech folks and Agnis and a couple of others internationally. And that's it. And so there's a lot, especially for us in the US, where we will start an organization and say, oh, we're global. And it's because we're United States and Canada, and that's it, but this is truly a global organization. And in the last couple of weeks, I've been not only on this call, but on the Prague, Czech Republic chapter, Amman, Jordan, and Lagos, Nigeria. And in each case, you can see there's a different kind of expertise there. That's not just your different culture, but you're in a different set of capabilities. And so there's a virtual reality presentation in Nigeria. Amman was more of there was a physician talking about how he uses some of this technology. So there's a lot to learn from the community. It's really, truly happening in that sense. Our focus, partly because of my personal interest, is around brain-computer interfaces. If you think about the consumer-priced headsets like the Muse or the Emotive that translate brain signals in some fashion and apply them to different needs, mental health needs. Assistive technology is another one. So in Colorado, the University of Colorado has quite has a medical center that is focused as a core excellence around assistive technology. And so if you think about some of these cheaper headsets used to control prosthetic limbs and at the outer edge, there's a lot of capability. And I come from a technology background for years, looking at how Moore's law has transformed a lot of industries. And I think that's just starting to happen in this sort of mental health and well-being space. So it's exciting to be part of it. And congratulations again on starting up.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. So I think now the official part is over. Everyone can ask questions. I don't know how long we're going to go. Maybe not the whole night, but of course, there's always some questions. So the floor is open. People can unmute themselves and ask questions to everyone.
Hi again, my name's Darla Boone. I'm in from Seattle, Washington. And I just joined this group recently. I've known about it for quite a while, but just recently I decided to join it. And I have my background in holistic health and wellness and has been forever, a very long time, okay? And so I've had the opportunity to work with some really great people. And one of the things that I actually implemented many years ago, over 30 years ago here in Seattle, was one of the first mind gyms. I don't know if any of you know Dr. Thomas Basinski, who was the founder of biofeedback, subliminal, subliminal, holophonic technologies. And I met him working at a cancer treatment center that was an integrative program, very much a forerunner as well. Anyway, Tom and I became good friends, and I said, why don't we see what we can do with this technology for the general population, which was a mind gym we started here in Washington. Unsuccessfully, I have to say, because we were so far ahead, nobody had any idea what we were doing, right? But anyway, so I love technology and the application of it as a tool for wellness. I have a particular area that I'm really interested in, curious to see what others might be doing with the technology as it relates to addiction recovery. Anybody who's dealt with that at all, and I have, not on a personal level, but certainly in a sort of a personal level with other family members, but just as a model, because it's an area that really needs a lot of help. They're using a lot of really outdated, in my opinion, as much as they try, information that it's not really successful. So I don't know what's happening in the world yet using technology, but that's an area that I'm really interested in. And I'm not a scientist nor a researcher, although I work with many scientists and researchers, but I'm a television producer. So I produce television shows about what we're talking about. So anyway, that's what I would like to know more about, is what kind of applications people have or are working on to help people in recovery.
I think it's a great question. I don't know if any of the representatives from the companies have an answer, but one thing I can tell you, if you have you joined the platform, the TransTech platform that I show? You weren't at the beginning. So there is this platform where everyone can connect.
Yes, I'm now a part of that.
Okay,
of
I think
recent.
that's,
Yeah.
Yes, that's the best place
Yeah.
to gather the insights. But I would like, if anyone wants to say something from the speakers, yes, go on.
There are a lot of technologies. I think what I learned and what I saw in Palo Alto last November, there were a lot of attendees introducing and presenting their technologies. And I think what I learned from this event in Palo Alto is what there are a lot of people who have a long experience. What has changed? What's changed within the last few years is that through the wearable technologies and through the digitalization of the platform and the mobility of platforms like the smartphone and so on, is that all of these technologies are moving quite fast. A lot of inventors made great work in the past through biofeedback and as you mentioned, and now there are so much solutions. Like I think I saw like 50 products last November.
But have they been specifically any kind of testing, double-blind studies, etc., that kind of idea regarding addiction?
I can't remember something especially about addiction, but I remember I discussed with a person from the US. She was also working on this topic on this addiction issues for a while, and I think it's always at the crossroad from scientific publications and which tend to pinpoint some usage or some practices that can help to recover from addiction, and these technologies that, for example, mindfulness can help you recover from addiction or certainly try to help you discover these moments when the addiction is coming back. I don't remember the name of this moment, special moment when the addiction is just telling you, oh, I want it. I want to go back to this addiction. I want playing video games or taking a smartphone and saying, oh, I want to watch to my smartphone. I can't remember, but for sure on transformative technology community and through the website and the gateway of the website, you can find out, I think, dedicated technology to that for that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good. I can tell only one thing. Before this call, I had a call with people that mainly of them, they are living in California and Silicon Valley, and they are crunching data related with the COVID-19 right now. So the data scientists. And the topic we were discussing was about addiction and how transformation can help. And we didn't speak that much about technology, because from our perspective, technology is the amplifier. But if we don't know how the human factors play the role into overcoming the addiction, then we can use technology pointlessly.
Exactly.
So we were,
yeah, like what are the elements? People have been working on cracking this nut for a really long time, and today with the drug epidemic, heroin, Oxycontin, all the other, you know, it's not like alcohol and smoking weed anymore. These are really, really serious addictions. And I've been working with Washington State Health Services with their program that they use for addiction. And you know, it's really tough because people get better and then boom, just like that, people go out again and can die. It's a very big problem. And I'm just really, you know, I'm going to be definitely looking to put a protocol together here in Washington State so that people can begin to really test the results, you know, and start to figure out, like you're saying, what actually is going on. I see the best aspect of these tools for recovery regarding addiction, because most people many people, I should say, not most, many people who are addicted, they're not aware. They don't practice yoga or meditation or mindfulness. Those are like foreign topics for them. That's not a part of their world. So there are people, of course, that do practice those things and are still suffering with addiction, but overall they aren't. So it's kind of like, I don't know what the answer is. All I know is that technology is a powerful tool that can help people. I just don't know what the research is yet. I haven't really found any.
Anyone else would like to give any comments? Sometimes I'm not that polite. So is there anyone else who want to chip in something before we move on? Because what I'm doing right now, I'm typing my emails into the chat, and I would like Daria to continue this conversation because I have view and science behind the process how to address the addiction, and there are so multiple factors, and we also as a practitioners need to get a clarity on that. So I'm happy to join discussion with you and see what can we co-produce out of that, and how can I help that?
Because it's a big deal to have a state willing to listen, willing to say, okay, what is it that you have? How would we use that? How can we integrate that? You know, how can we prove that? And actually set up studies. That's what I'm saying. And I don't have those skills. My skill base is a different skill base. But but you guys have skills.
We all have skills.
I know we do. I have many of them, believe me.
Different.
But and I'm a big researcher, but it's not my area of expertise, and I'm okay with that. I just want to see what we can create and help, you know.
And sure, what I'm gonna do, so we will have a conversation, and definitely one thing that what will happen with the parish chapter, there will be next event, and I already have one speaker. In the next event, we will have more about getting calm. And there is this technology that without any sound is communicating to the main, what's this? Vagus nerve?
Vagus nerve.
Yes, thank
Vagus
you.
nerve.
Whoa, everyone is professionals. So, and that's what I don't have any particular date yet, but I think within a month, and then we'll see how it goes. We will have that person speaking about like a guest speaker. And then if we continue this discussion around addiction, I think it's very important. We might have another event on that and getting it more discussed and maybe more attraction from the professionals and different kind of expertise on this topic. So the chapter will evolve. How it will evolve? Through the events. And the events will have the frequency, and the network will be more like spreading and penetrating the local professionals, and also connecting the international interest in that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, great. Thank you.
I think if there isn't anything else particular for this event, and we are good, and I feel really glad with all of the presentations and all the questions and all of the international speakers, I would say we are about to close the launch event and look forward to being connected through the platform of the global community. And there is this subgroup about the Paris chapter, and then all other forms of our preference. But then if we want to be quite organized, then the best is go to this, and I will share it again so that everyone is aware of what I'm speaking about. So I will go back here and we'll share the screen. So what I'm speaking, so this is the website, but what I'm speaking about right now is this platform. So it's transformative-tech-mn.co. It's, what's the name? It's Mighty Networks. Mighty Networks are the platform. And this is where is the groups. And in the groups, there is a Paris, this TransTech Paris. So that would be the most convenient to keep our community interchanging and getting more people in. And once anyone gets on the main network and then connects to the group, then all of the events will appear here, just like this one was here, and the speakers' videos and all the other things are on this, in this group on the main platform. Stop sharing, and thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. So, and see you soon again.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
All right, take care, stay safe. Wash your hands. All right, take care, bye.